Welcome back to the Wellness Transformation Journey podcast. I'm your host, Pamela Peters. In part one of this episode, we talked about establishing your reasons why you want to go on a wellness journey. After the deep work has been done in laying out your motivation, now you can start setting your SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. When you're creating your SMART goals, focus on the important results you want to achieve. SMART goals help to define clear and understandable levels of expectations you have to determine what is successful for you. When you begin setting up your SMART goals, ask yourself the following questions for each area. First, for specific, think of the exact actions and numbers you want to reach. Ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish? And what actions will you take to reach these goals? Second, for measurable goals, which are metrics that are trackable, ask yourself, how will you measure the goals you have or your successes? Third, when thinking about what is achievable, think about what is realistic for your life and your lifestyle. Ask, is this doable for me? Do I have the skills or resources to do this? If not, what do I need or how can I adjust? When considering relevant goals, make sure they align with your why. Ask, why is the result important and does it support my ultimate goals? Lastly, when considering time-bound goals, you need to set clear deadlines, but be open to adjusting and don't beat yourself up if you don't reach them in the time you wanted. Ask yourself things like, what is the time frame for achieving a particular goal? And make this practical for your life and your health. After answering these questions, consider what your ideal future looks like. This should align with your motivations and are going to help you further define your SMART goals. Remember, as you reach your goals, set new ones. You may go through this process several times throughout your wellness journey. The first step to breaking down your journey is to transform your ultimate goal into manageable pieces. Break down your long-term, medium-term, and weekly goals. Let's first consider your long-term vision. This can be 6 to 12 months out or longer. Make the overall target specific and measurable. Also include non-scale victories. I knew it was going to take me longer than a year to reach my goal weight and my fitness goals, so I set an overall goal and one scale goal for the first 12 months. Some of the goals I set was that I wanted to lose at least 100 pounds in my first year, and my overall goal was to reach 150 pounds on the scale. I wanted to walk 4 or more miles each morning without running out of breath, and I wanted to get down to a size 16 pants. I was close to reaching my 1-year goals, but was a little off. However, I didn't get discouraged and ultimately surpassed all of these goals. Next, establish some midterm milestones. These are 2 to 3 month goals that you build on and update every few months. These are essentially checkpoints to determine where you're at in your journey. These goals should primarily focus on behavioral changes and on performance targets. While you'll still be weighing yourself, not focusing all your goals on the scale helps establish sustainable habits. For example, some of my midterm goals were that I wanted to walk a mile nonstop. I would wake up by 6 a.m. each day and start the day with 30 minutes of exercise. My measurable goal was that I wanted to be down 20 to 30 pounds within the first 3 months. All these would give me an idea of where I was in relation to reaching my long-term goals. Lastly, you need to set weekly action goals. These will change as you get healthier and fitter. These should focus on your daily habit targets, weekly workout plans, and meal preparation goals. My meal prep plans changed each week, but focused on reaching a certain calorie average for each container. This way I had to focus less on calorie counting and could focus more on other things throughout the week. Set up your daily cardio and lifting plan, then adjust them as you progress. As you develop healthy habits, focus on a different habit to break, such as snacking after a certain time of day or setting a specific bedtime and wake up time. After you have established the baseline for each level of your goals, you need to think about how to balance your goals between setting habits, which are your process goals, and your outcome goals. Balancing process goals and outcome goals will help you create a plan because process goals and outcome goals support each other. Here are some examples of process goals I focused on when I began. Once they became habits or my goals changed, these would be adjusted. Some haven't changed. First, I wanted to focus on my daily water intake because hydration supports both your eating and exercise habits. I focused on drinking 8 glasses of water a day. Now, depending on my workout level, which changes daily, I still try to hit at least 8 glasses of water a day, but sometimes I drink more. I also established a time each week to focus on weekly meal prep sessions. Sundays after lunch is my specific time and day. I also created a plan each week and a grocery list to stick to. My regular exercise sessions were written down on a calendar and recorded to see how I was progressing. And I still do this with my run training. I also set a specific time to go to bed because I wanted to target sleeping 7 to 9 hours a day. This is still something I work at sticking to, and sometimes I struggle with it. Lastly, I wanted to focus on stress management, which has always been a challenge for me. So I set specific goals and times for relaxing, meditation, or just reading a book for enjoyment and not research. This helped me establish habits to support my overall goal. Next, I set up my outcome goals, which were used as guideposts throughout my weight loss journey, and I still use them to maintain my health and wellness. For a weight milestone, make it safe and realistic. According to Livestrong and Men's Health, most people on average should only lose about 2 to 3 pounds a week. I use clothes sizes to evaluate how fit I was beyond the scale. As your clothes size shrinks, update your wardrobe as a reward from time to time. I did this a few pieces at a time because it was not financially viable for me to do this all at once regularly. For fitness, set times or distances that you want to reach. I started with walking a mile and built up to running a 5K and now a half marathon. I'm still building on this with the goal to run a marathon and or a short triathlon. Lastly, consider health markers, such as do your knees feel better? Is your resting heart rate down? Or did your blood pressure drop? I wanted my calves to feel better, and they are stronger now than they were when I started. To help aid in reaching your process and outcome goals, create environmental triggers. I will go deeper into this later in another episode, but set up visual goal reminders like notes on the fridge or places where you will see them often. Organize your spaces for success. For instance, have your fridge organized where you can easily find healthy snacks or easily grab meal prep meals. It's still okay to have those go-to snacks that may not be considered healthy, but make them harder to access. I use the out of sight, out of mind strategy. This goes with removing obstacles to good habits as well. Make snack foods a reward or something you have once a day or at certain times of the week. Don't completely do away with them because you need to fulfill your cravings or you may overindulge from time to time. This provided you with a basic guide to start preparing your wellness journey. Now it's time to put this into practice. Start by identifying your core motivators and writing your wellness statement. Then write out your SMART goals and make them specific. Last, identify triggers you struggle with, organize your space, and leave visual reminders. This does not and should not be done all at once because it can get overwhelming and cause burnout. A wellness journey is a process and it takes time to build progress, especially when you're changing your mindset to change your life.